Welcome to SA Sports Show. I'm Greg Anderson and my partner in crime, my host, Barry Curtin. Welcome.
Thank you, Greg. Lovely to be here.
It's going to be a great show. We've, of course, we've got some wonderful guests. James Fantasia from Nord coming along talking about the Newsread Footy Club, and they've had a lot of success of recent years, that's for sure. You know,
a strong club.
Bevo's tips. They weren't bad last week, 7 out of 9.
7 out of 9, but I understand he went against our crowd, so we'll have a little chat to Bevo when he comes in, for sure. We've also got a really great story with a fella called Daniel Burt. Our football-loving supporters out there will know that Daniel Burt was a Glenelg footballer. What they didn't know, or probably don't know, is the incredible journey that he's had to go through since finishing football. I think it's a fantastic story.
It is a fantastic story, and you know, it's so sad, but then it's just ends up being so wonderful, you know, and he just made the most of his talent, and you know, when you represent Australia, that's he's going places, that's for sure.
Yeah, from the depths of despair, really, because that's where he was. Just a great story and something worth waiting for.
Now our local teams. You know, geez, Port and the Crows both went down. Both looked a bit insipid, I thought, on the weekend. You know, the Crows really come to play. I watched the game. I know it was a bit of a wintry sort of night, but Collingwood hard. They looked hard. They come out, they wanted to play footy.
No, they never looked like getting beaten. They never looked like being beaten at any stage of the game, which I thought was disappointing for Adelaide's point of view, but a lot of people underestimated Collingwood. You know,
that's for sure.
They're a pretty good side.
Yeah.
Well, put it this way, I don't think there's any easy game anyway.
There's no easy games.
And the other one, the SNFL.
Yeah.
Wow, that's probably the worst game that I've ever seen. 4-4 to...
Yeah, 2-16, I know. But
which was quite incredible.
I know, we'll talk a bit more about that. We've got plenty of guests, but we're just going over the news with Ashley.
Thanks, guys. Here's what's making news. South Aussies has wrapped up the Commonwealth Games in style, generously contributing to Australia's gold medal tally, which saw them top of the table. Kyle Chalmers was an unsurprising standout, bringing home 5 medals, 4 of which were gold. The Boomers had a convincing win over Canada in the basketball final, while the Kookaburras held off New Zealand to claim gold as well. Parasports champion Kurt Fearnley donned the flag at the closing ceremony as Australia celebrated its 15th Commonwealth Games victory. Cricket Australia has a new home after striking a deal with Channel 7 and Foxtel. The 6-year broadcast deal means all Test matches will be on free-to-air. However, ODIs and T20 internationals will be exclusively aired on Fox. As a result, the Big Bash League has been extended to a full home and away season, with 16 of those matches broadcasted only on Fox. Channel 9 will still host the next Ashes series and the ODI World Cup in the UK. And in footy, the Crows suffered a shock loss to a sleek Collingwood outfit, with SA's own Brodie Grundy putting on a dominant display for the Pies. Port Adelaide were outworked by Essendon in their round 4 clash, going down by 22 points. Both teams will look forward to bouncing back in their blockbuster matches next week, with the Crows taking on the Swans and Port hosting the Cats at Adelaide Oval. Adelaide United have crushed the hearts of Wanderers fans as they defeated the home team 3-2 in the last game of the regular season. Ryan Kitto's 80th minute sealer ensured Western Sydney would not qualify for postseason play. The Reds will kick off their finals campaign with a tough matchup against old rivals Melbourne Victory. The Matildas have ensured qualification for the World Cup after a 1-1 draw with Japan, with superstar Sam Kerr sending one roaring past the keeper late in the first half, which was enough to get the Aussies through. The Matildas will be focusing on their Asian Cup efforts for the time being, with the World Cup to be held in France midway through next year. And former South Gawler and Central Districts reserve Patrick White has notched another win after debuting in the NEAFL for the Northern Territory Thunder last week. White debuted against the Lions and got 3rd best on ground, as well as bagging a couple goals. He continued his red-hot form as his team enjoyed a comfortable win over Aspley in round 2. Let's hope our local footy players can follow in Patrick's lead and continue to showcase SA's talent around the country. Happy Valley local Joe Ingles and the Utah Jazz have fell to the Oklahoma City Thunder in the Game 1 of the NBA playoffs. Ingles posted his reliable stat line of 13 points, hitting 3 three-pointers. The Aussies will be hoping to even up the series when they head back to Salt Lake City. And that's all in news. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Ashley, for the latest news. Very important segment, this one, for all our viewers. They rely on Bevo's tips.
They rely on them.
Welcome, they rely on them. I've been told so many times when I'm out and about, I followed Bevo's tips. I don't know. How'd we go last week, Bevo?
6 from 9.
That's not bad.
Yeah,
that's okay.
6 is par.
Yeah.
I think for the weekend.
So everyone get your pens out. Here we go.
There's a couple of roughies as always.
All right, who'd you miss out on?
Who did I miss out on? I missed out on, well, actually, it's funny, I went for, no, hang on, I got 7 out of 9 on this segment. So, yeah, no, I did actually go for the Bombers last week. So I got 7 from 9, not 6 from 9.
Okay.
The ones I missed out on was I went for Melbourne over the Hawks.
Yeah.
And the other game
That was good for 5 minutes.
yeah. What was the other game?
You would have gone Crows.
Oh, of course,
Of
course, yeah. The Collingwood Crows game, yeah.
Talking about the Crows, they're on tonight against Sydney. Big game.
Yes, huge
Big game.
game.
That was, disappointing last week, but everything just went wrong for them.
Yeah.
When you have those games.
You'd expect the Crows to bounce back, but they've got a lot of injuries at the moment. Still haven't got the Crouch boys. Eddie Betts is under a cloud because of his hammy. Rory Sloane's not fit, I don't think. Last week he just wasn't at his best against the Pies, so I think Sydney will win this comfortably over the SCG guys.
Yeah, it's a tough one, isn't it, that one? I know Adelaide will respond, but you have to do that in Sydney. It'd be easy to respond with Adelaide, I think, rather than have to go to front them. There's only one team can beat Sydney in Sydney.
That's Port Adelaide, exactly.
I'm with Sydney as well, actually. Then we've got the Saints versus the Giants, who really are playing like Giants at the moment. So tough game for the Saints, especially after their poor loss against Geelong.
Yeah, Saints can't seem to take a trick at the moment, and Alan Richardson's starting to be under a bit of pressure, I think, guys. Everyone talks about the Saints being a real contender for the top 8 this year, and yeah, if they keep on losing games, then he's going to be under the pump big time.
They're nowhere near it, are they, really?
No.
I mean, gee whiz, you'd like to give them something, give them a little bit of something positive, but there's nothing there. If you watch them, they were woeful here. They were very, very poor here.
Yes.
And on the weekend, wow, I think Cove would have knocked them off.
Yeah, I think so. You're right. Yeah.
Giants
only with you coaching, though, of course.
Well,
Yes.
So I think Giants all round there, and still on Saturday we've got another team under pressure, Carlton versus the Eagles. So
yeah, it doesn't get easy for the Blues, does it?
No,
of course,
not
they
at
went to Tassie last week, and we thought the Blues might put up a fight against the Roos, but to the Roos' credit, they were superb.
They were superb.
And Benny Brown, how good's he at the moment?
good,
But yeah, the Eagles for me have been a real surprise packet. Second on the ladder over there, they're going really well over in Perth. Kennedy's back into the side. Nata Nui's making.
Helps a little bit,
doesn't he? He's making such a difference.
Yeah.
They're really going under the radar. I reckon the Eagles are a dark horse this year, so I think they'll comfortably beat the Blues.
You can't go with Carlton, Bazza? No.
No, they're in the 10th year of a 20-year rebuild, so I'm still waiting for them.
I thought it was 25, I got told by Craig
I'm
Bradley, but
still
anyway, that's
waiting for
okay. Miles wrong. Okay, that's still Saturday. We've got Ports versus the Cats. Big game.
Huge
Big game
game.
for both clubs, actually.
Massive game.
Yeah, definitely. If Port want to be a contender this year, Ando, they've got to win these sort of games. No Ablett for the Cats. They were great against St Kilda again last week. You can't read much into that game because of the way the Saints are going. Port have to bounce back, and I think they will. It's going to be a ripping game on Saturday night, but I think Port just.
Are you just saying that, Bevo?
No, I've just got a feeling that...
He's 7 out of 9. He's a 7 out of 9. He knows what he's talking about.
Yeah. Don't patronise me.
What do you think,
It'll be a
Baz?
cracker. No, I think it'll be a cracker. There's no doubt. Not a good record against the Cats.
No.
But
Porter
there's
respond.
something on the end of
I
this.
think they respond. They were a little bit insipid, last week, and I think they know
definitely.
that.
Big crowd
And they'll
Saturday
come out.
night, Adelaide
Big
Oval.
crowd.
Yeah, they'll be
Huge
pumped.
crowd,
Yeah.
Okay.
Then we go the Dockers versus the Bulldogs. So Bulldogs, they looked all right.
They did, yeah. They were unlucky to lose to Sydney by 7 points and starting to play some really good footy.
In Perth.
And in Perth, though, Freo have been good there this year, winning both of their games. So this is going to be a tough one. I'm going Freo just only because it's in Perth.
Yeah, that's probably a fair call. I think they're both fairly evenly matched. After Port beat the Dockers early in the year, they were riding the Dockers off because they're no good. But their very next game,
They came back.
they knocked the Bulldogs off. I think. They're not a bad side. They've got a very good midfield, and I think this will be a cracker.
And definitely
This will be a
Optus
good game.
Stadium. I think West Coast and Freo definitely have that advantage over there, and it's going to be a good game of footy for sure.
Terrific game.
And Sunday at Etihad, we've got North versus Hawthorn, so two teams in good form.
Definitely, yeah. Mentioned before, Ando, how good were the Roos over in Tassie last week? And Benny Brown's is playing brilliant footy at the moment, second on the Coleman, of course, and the Roos are up and about. The Hawks as well, though, fourth place. A lot of people wouldn't have predicted that at the start of the year, but a former Port boy, Jarman Impey, how good's he going at the moment? So.
Well, we don't mind helping out.
I reckon we needed this speed last weekend, actually, but I'm not going to bring it up. But it's going to be a cracker game, that one.
Definitely.
Sunday at the Gabba, we've got the Lions versus the Suns.
This is another game that could go either way, Ando. We saw Port against Brisbane the other week. We saw how good Brisbane were. Yeah. Then the same old Brisbane came out last week and were terrible against Richmond.
Shocking.
So you'd think they'd respond against the Suns. But I think the Suns will be too good, though. If they want to play finals footy this year, then they've got to win these sort of games.
Another tricky one.
Yeah. Anzac Day Eve, of course, the clash of Melbourne versus Richmond. So
Yeah, there's some
Melbourne
great games
looked
this round,
terrible
isn't there?
last week after the 5-6 minute mark of that first quarter.
They did, Ando. They're another team that if they talked themselves up of being a real contender this year. Kane Corns tipped them win the flag. So if they want to, be a contender, they have to win these sort of games. Having said that, though, Richmond are up and about, and Dusty Martin, 6 goals last week against.
Playing well.
He kicked more goals by himself than the whole Brisbane team. Can you believe it? So I saw a meme about that. But I think Richmond will be too strong for Melbourne.
Now, finally, this is a cracking game. We've seen over the years where Essendon and Collingwood have been down the bottom of the ladder and sort of not having much form. They're coming off 2 unbelievable wins from last weekend.
Yes,
Collingwood
definitely.
versus the Bombers.
Come on, Bevo.
Yeah, unfortunately, both of our SA teams fell to
Yeah, I
those
know they
teams
did
last
too. Good
week.
call.
so-
Good call.
Yeah, and again, this is another one that could go either way. But I'm looking at the wins from last week, and Collingwood's win against the Crows was great, but I think Essendon's win against Port was even better because the Crows have got a lot of injuries at the moment, and it was wet as well. So I think the Bombers to win against the Pies on Anzac Day.
No, that's a good call, Bevo. Thank you very, very much.
Good on you, Bevo.
We'll be back shortly.